Got stuck. Talk about karma. I just got stuck in a rainstorm. We should have quite a few people joining with us tomorrow. We have our New Year's Eve live chat party. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. We're going live at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. So today, Andrew Tate, I noticed, was arrested along with his brother Tristan. So a lot of us are wondering, do our narcissists ever get their karma? Now that's some pretty big karma. Sorry, I just got home. Visiting my mom in the hospital. One sec, guys. And sorry, I know that's rude. One second. Oh, you guys are my patient, faithful viewers. So today he got arrested. I found out he was arrested, and he was living on top of the world. I think he's a billionaire, super popular across a lot of social media, and some pretty big karma to get arrested. He's going to lose pretty much everything. He's very cocky. I don't know who Andrew Tate is. Ooh, we have somebody joining us. Perfect. Sorry, I was just saying how I got caught in a rainstorm. I stayed after to visit with my mom. My sister showed up, so I had to go out the back door. I didn't realize I had to walk like a city block to get to my car in the rain. But thanks for joining us. Feel free to comment, say hello to each other, interact, and hopefully you'll be joining us for New Year's Eve. But yeah, we're talking about the narcissist karma. So comment below. A lot of us, some of us have seen the karma that our narcissist has gone through. Some of us seem to feel like they're winning, that, we're the ones on the down and out and everything is working out for them. And a lot of times it does feel like that. You do see them moving on with the new supply. They're not all brokenhearted. And is this karma ever going to come? And I had mentioned that some of the karma that they get, we don't always see. We don't always know what is going on. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know how happy or unsettled they are in their heart. So they might have somebody with them, just like Andrew Tate. I believe it seems like he has like 4 girls, like a main chick, girls here and there. But during the arrest, he's going to go down hard. He is used to having everything his way. He was a famous kickboxer, retired now, I believe, but all the money, great body, good looks, it doesn't get you out of the karma. And he got so cocky with his entitlement over women that he got caught, and I'm talking about Andrew Tate for those who just joined in, that he's arrested now. He had a prostitution ring. He's facing criminal charges. There is Lily. So glad everybody was asking about you yesterday, just so you know. So glad you could join us tonight. We got a couple of other people joining us. Feel free to say hi. And we're talking about the narcissist karma. Some of us really want to see that karma. We should still have like a kind, pure heart. Don't let that change you. But if you want to know if the karma happens, you can just look at Andrew Tate, living on top of the world. Everything's working out. And boom, he got too cocky and too entitled. And there's John. Good to see you, John. Lily says, what's the temperature there? It's only about 50. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I had to drive through the rain. It is crappy, dreary weather, but it's decent. I had to walk out in the rain, though, so I'm a little fluffy right now. And Jen Dine, who is Andrew Tate? He is a cocky MFer. He's like a YouTube influencer. I believe he was kicked off of Facebook and something else. He's about the cockiest male out there. What did he say? King of entitlement. That's not exactly what he said, but he's very two-faced. He has lots of girlfriends, definitely sleeps around, and it's always one way. The girls can't go find a guy. He was saying about like child support that, if the kid needs diapers, maybe he'll give him diapers. Nobody can bring him down. He has so much money because somebody had asked him, if you're sleeping around, and what if all these women have babies? And he's like, I got enough money. Nobody can break me. But he also said that, if you go after child support, I'll go live, what do you say, in the forest, or I think he said forest. He might have said island, but he's going to go live like off the grid and burn everything. So I don't even know if it's multi-billionaire, but he's a billionaire, and he'll sacrifice everything for spite. So he's just kind of a jerk that's out there, Jen. John says here, it's very warm. Nice day today. Jen Dine says sounds like Logan brothers. I'm not sure if I know who the Logan brothers are, but there are brothers. Tristan is his brother, and guilty by association. He does the same stuff. He seems a little bit more not as cocky, but still just as cocky, if that makes any sense. And John saying, "Hey, Lily, what's up?" Because we were asking about you, and Lily's like, "Aw." So I'd like to study the Logan brothers. Sometimes, partners in crime. They also had a crime ring. They found guns, knives, and just I saw two different reports, two or four. I'm sorry, two or four more, which is six. At least two women where they have rape allegations against them, and of course guilty or innocent until proven guilty. So we'll see what happens. They've been interrogated for the last 24 hours. Samantha says hi. Samantha, thank you for joining us. Yay! And mom's stable today, so that's kind of good news. She did need a breathing treatment. She still has like crackles in her lungs, but made it home safely. And I will still be there. My sister's kind of sad with me because she's like, why did you schedule a YouTube video on New Year's Eve? So I'll go out there and I'll still be back in time for our little party tomorrow that I'm looking forward. Jake and Paul Logan. Paul Logan. I don't know. That sounds fair. I don't know who. I'll check that out, Jen. I will definitely check out who that is. A lot of times, partners in crime. Oh, and thank you. I love that. Thank you for that. That helps with the algorithms. Thank you so much. Lily says, was watching online silly shorts and was glad to see alive. They caught the psycho that killed the three. Okay. I'm thinking of the four. I'm still confused on that one. That was a recent one. It was only three. I know there was one that I couldn't figure out if it's three females and one male. You might be talking about something different. I'm trying to remember the location of that one. Was that the knifing? Because that was 4 college students, or at least 4 people, maybe 3 college students. I want to know which psycho. There was one that was on the loose for, what's it going on, 2 months, maybe 2.5, 3 months. I remember a white house. Is that the same one? There's like 2 blondes and I think a brunette, and I think it was the guy. It got confusing the way they put it. I still couldn't figure it out. Let me know who that was. Thank goodness that they caught them. And Calibri is joining us. Oh, so good to see everybody. We got our group here and we got Jen back. We've seen Jen. He killed 4 students. Yeah. So it was that one that I'm thinking of. And fill me in. Who did they find? Was it just a random one? That's where it gets really scary. Is a lot of times crimes. It's really interesting about crimes, but let me say hi to JG. JG, good to have you here. Crimes are usually against the same type. So, what's her name? Susan. It's a simple name, not Susan Davis. Susan Smith. She killed her 4 kids, and she had said something like it was a black man. I don't know, that attacked her and pushed her into the van. I don't remember exactly the story, but Susan Smith had said it was a black man. And a lot of times crimes against people are blacks on blacks, whites on whites. And it's really interesting. Most crimes are people that you know, but with a mental illness, there's a lot that go against the kind of norms, and it gets really scary when they attack people they don't even know for no reason. And so yeah, sometimes we say 3, sometimes we say 4. Not a problem on that, Lily, but yeah. Let me know what the story was. A 28-year-old grad student, teacher aide, and psychopath. Did he have a crush on one of the girls? Those girls were there were some pretty girls. Not that but sometimes that can be a target. They were thinking it was somebody who might have turned them down. They kind of, and it was a male, is what I'm assuming. Let me know if it was a male. Also, different kinds of suicides, men and women do it different. Not all the time, but in general, It's really interesting how people are. So Sam says, hey to Jen. Lily says typo. Yes, 4. And that's okay with the typo. Not a problem. John says, hey, Sam. Calibri says, speaking of psychos that I'm living with, my installation of double locks on my main entrance makes me feel better. I also installed a lock that I can lock when I go do my errands. Yeah, Calibri, we don't know everything about your story. When you say psychos that you're living with, are you in like a complex and you want to keep them out, or you're talking people that live in your unit with you, like your house or your apartment? Yeah, double locks on your main entrance. Sometimes too, yeah, we gotta lock those doors, stay as safe as we can. I got broken into. It was really crazy. I went to Canada. I went to Canada with my friend. This was years ago. I lived at that time. I lived by Detroit, so it's basically just over the river. But I went to Detroit. This was back in beeper days, so it was probably like 1988, 1989, and I had a beeper on my waist. It was on vibrate. And her and I are sitting there and we're just talking. We're at like Denny's, some little restaurant after hours, and we're just talking, having a nice time. My beeper goes off and it's her phone number. Or I'm sorry, it was a house phone number because we had a house phone number and she had her number. I had my number. She's a really organized person. So she put our names, Cindy's cell phone, Michelle's cell phone, and home number. And two guys broke into our house and took the number and beeped me with my pager to have me call. And he's like, why don't you come on over? We're at your place. We're having a couple beers. She drank beer, so there was beer in the fridge. They broke into our house because they saw us in Canada, followed us across the border. Somehow it was crazy. They came back like a day or two later. Like they must have stalked us that night. Thank you again for that like. That does help with the algorithms and makes me happy. But I appreciate that. So Jen says, no, he was majoring in criminology. And you think it was a thrill kill situation. Yeah, especially with 4 people and a knife. That's, God, that sucks. That's so sad. So sad and so horrific too. The pain they must have gone through. That makes you sick. Thank you for the update on that, because like I said, I'm at my mom's and I really haven't been watching the news. I have CNN on all the time. I don't watch TV at all, but CNN's on all the time. John says, pretty soon my complex is planning on installing new, safer front doors here. That's good. Keep us posted on that, because John's had a lot of problems with the different residents. Calibri says, I live in a condo with a couple of suspect narcs. The narcs, are they inside your condo or the condominium community? Inside your place exactly? Sometimes wording gets difficult because I live in a townhome and I have people right by me, but they're not in my place. JG says you'd hate to live in a condo. There's a lot of nice condos, though. There are some nice condos. I'd like that way better than an apartment. Way better. I had a friend, he had a nice corner lot. And just depends. My aunt lived there. It's kind of nice. I don't know about you, and that's fine if you wouldn't want to live there. I'd hate to live in a apartment. I'd rather live in a trailer than an apartment. That's just me. John says I actually use my own security cameras in my apartment, and that I need to get that. I forgot that staying at my mom's. She's like, you got back at 9:15. I didn't have that growing up, but now that I'm just kind of chilling, so I can visit her, she keeps tabs on me. But that's all right. She knows when my dog goes out, and it's good to have those. They've solved a lot of crimes too. And JG, what would be your favorite kind of place to live? I had a cousin who lived on a houseboat out in California for a long time. They just sold it. John said, Kalibi says the male malignant narc is obsessed with me. I think he has the dark triad. That dark triad is I always forget. Machiavellianism, and psychopathic traits and narcissism. So that is not a good mix. That's some of the darkest kind of narcissists out there. That's really scary because if they have psychopathic traits, they have no empathy. They don't give a crap. They don't have any remorse. They don't have any regret. They just do whatever the frick they want. JG says, Calibri, he might like you. Like you. I think you mean he might like you. And I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. Oh gosh. Is he also gay? I'm kind of assuming. It kind of sounds like it. A condo community. Okay, so yeah, I got my narcissistic neighbors. I talk about my narcissistic neighbors. Watch out. Across the street is a murderer. He got out of jail. And then he was also like kind of like a gang leader inside the jail. It's pretty. He's at least chill with me, but yeah, I got a murderer across the street. I did a video on that. And that's what, if you were to talk to him, you can kind of see like he does like the badass kind of talk, but he wouldn't seem like a murderer. But he, yeah, did like 20 some years for it. So he definitely is. And he did tell me, I had a talk with him. If you watch that video about the murderer across my street, I did some video on it, murderer or murder, and you should find it. But, sometimes you're just talking to people, you can't really tell. He seems, kind of a little gangster, just like a little rough boy, but not one where you'd be like, and two, on the crap they did in jail. Oh, it's really crazy. I should consider that. So, John, now that you made so much money, would you say you made, I don't know. You said something. Maybe you just said you got paid, but John, I'll let you off popcorn duty if you buy me a security system. It's up to you, popcorn duty or security system. Your husband has a dark triad, Jen. Oh, see, I haven't dealt with that in a relationship. I've dealt with narcissists, but not that dark triad. It can be scary. It can be real scary. The rages, the blackouts, the extreme mood swings, the violent nature of it. Mine were just kind of cold. They kind of shut down and didn't really talk, or they were kind of dicky. But I can handle somebody being dicky. It might hurt me, it might not work out with the relationship, but it's not going to terrorize me like... And I noticed, Jen, you said your husband, you're still married to him. How's that going? Are you considering changes? He strangled you 5 to 6 times. Oh, Jen, you're still with him? I noticed it doesn't say X. Talk to me, girl. You don't have to if you're uncomfortable, but let's get to the bottom of this because I want you safe. Like being strangled 5 to 6 times. And I talk about that eggshell skull defense where you take the victim as they are, which means, there was a case where somebody didn't mean to kill the person, but they did. They like whacked them over the head with, I think, a lamp and killed the person, shattered their skull, and the person died. And the defense of, I didn't mean to, it wasn't intent. They're like, sorry, divorcing does take years. Do you guys have children together? Because it should be quicker if you don't have kids and if you're not arguing over assets. But a lot of times they will argue. They're just going to make your life hell. So yeah, it could take 2-3 years sometimes because of the bullshit. So are you in the process of a divorce, Jen? And are you safe now? That's what matters, if you're safe. 2 kids, 19 and 13. Oh, goodness. Yeah, because still got one that's in school. That's got to be hard. How long has it been bad, Jen? JG, solitude, your own cabin, own food, etc. So you want to kind of live off the grid. JG, that would be amazing. You can. There's a shed in the back of my parents'. They have a reverse osmosis. hydroponics. I can't remember. They got something in the garden. There's a big old garden there, lake, and a little cabin. I got a little canoe for you to go get your fish. You could live in my mom's backyard. That'd be awesome. It's hard to do that too, though. It's like almost impossible to live off the grid, and it's so sad because technically we could live. Um, self-sufficiently if we had the talent to do that and the wherewithal. And there's plenty of wood here. You could chop down, heat your place. And JG, that sounds cool. JG says I'm in Florida, but from Pennsylvania. Okay, so you wouldn't have to worry about the heat. Yeah, a little bit though. I lived in Florida for a little bit in a place that had no heat and no air conditioning. Calibri says these narcs always try to set you up. They stalk and walk by me just to annoy me. They definitely will try to do that. I'm glad you don't react like you just said. I'm using my knowledge on how to deal with them. Yeah, excellent, excellent, because they need to be handled in a different way. You cannot fuel their fire, but you also got to be really careful because they do like retaliation. So if you piss them off, gotta be careful. They're a whole different breed. Jen says, yes, I'm safe. He is with New Supply. Thank God. I'm free after 23 years. And how long was it bad though, Jen? I'm glad you're free. Yeah, sometimes too, it's like, oh, the New Supply saved me. Some of us are like, I wonder if he loves the New Supply more than me. But yeah, sometimes it's, God works in mysterious ways. Like sometimes it's a blessing. And yeah, Lily says she's free because for one thing, nobody should physically hurt you, but emotionally, what that like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine trying to go to sleep, especially after 5 or 6 times. Like, oh gosh, Jen, I wish I could give you a hug. We're gonna get big. We're gonna grow this channel, and one day I'll be able to hug you guys. So John says you experienced that too, Calibri. Yeah, John's in a complex too, where people of around him are just fucking with him, and then also his person really got them to turn against him. So he can definitely relate to you, Calibri. I'm glad you don't react to that. It fuels the fire if you do. It gives them more to fuck with you. And they're really good at no matter what you say, they will turn it around. Calibri, you're probably good looking, put together, and confident. That's my guess. That's what they see in you, and they want to bring it down. That's my guess. Are they gay? That might be, sometimes there are homophobes, not trying to be crazy because there is. Or maybe hidden where they haven't come out of the closet, or maybe it's just sometimes too they want to take down the confident one. You're very brief and concise with your responses if asked. Yeah, and that's kind of the calm way to do it. And it doesn't really give them much goo goo muck muck. We got Running Bear back. Coolio. Yes, I am a Leo and I'm cool. So Running Bear is back. You joined us, I believe it was yesterday. We got a big group of people. So I'm very happy everybody is here. But we were talking about, yeah, I'm glad they caught that guy that did those murders. And so sad that some people get an actual kick out of it. So with that dark triad that we started talking about is just how toxic it can be. And, mine were kind of dicky, but my first one was a cop, had a gun in the house loaded because he was a cop. I didn't think he'd ever kill me. But if somebody starts strangling you and, laying hands on you, it's like a step forward to like losing their cool and doing that. So for mine, if they did lose the cool, the first step they would do would probably be like hitting, and then the next strangling, and then the next, on and on. That's just as playing with fire. So I'm glad you're safe and out. It's Revelation 9:11. So you never told me that. I didn't look that up. You brought that up yesterday. Revelation 9:11. So go ahead, Running Bear. Go ahead and type what that Bible verse is. And Lily says, I've never been with anyone violent. Thank God. That's scary. Yes. I've been so blessed on that too. You hear about so many horrendous stories. And a lot of times too, especially as women, some of us are taking care of the household. We're not working. Um, you know, and at first we think that's a blessing that they're allowing us, to stay home. They'll take care of us, but then we're helpless, and they also isolate us. So it's always good to have, even if you're selling Avon on the side or something, just have some emergency money. I had one lady reaching out, kind of freaking out, wanting to go for safety. She basically just needed 50 bucks. So maybe when you're grocery shopping, put 5 bucks away somewhere every time you go grocery shopping. I know it's harder now than when I was with my person, um, because everything's credit cards and all that kind of stuff. But Jen says, my husband is law enforcement and said he would lose his job if I told anyone. That's the thing. Like I was a juvenile probation officer and my ex was a state cop, but he knew that all he had to do was put personal protection orders on me. So he would do that because, I couldn't carry a weapon. So then my degrees in criminal justice, I couldn't become a cop like I wanted. And he fucked with me for years. And it was miserable because it was all bullshit. But your husband is right. If there's a personal protection order, he might not be able to be allowed to carry a gun. So maybe he would get desk duty. I don't know his actual department, but he might. He might. Fuck him. Shouldn't have touched you. But yeah, I know sometimes too you're like, but he's a breadwinner. Are you working, Jen? Do you have some of your own income? If you don't ever want, you guys don't, never have to answer my questions if they're uncomfortable. But hopefully you have some money to where, you can kind of support yourself while the divorce is going through. And JG says, I've been violent in a vigilante way. Haha. Have you, JG? Sarcasm is 90% truth. Busted. And let's see. Running Bear says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Interesting. And Running Bear, John 10:10. Is that another Bible verse? I know we got John online with us, but John is a book in the Bible in the New Testament. Feel free to share that. Because some of us don't have Bibles. I do have Bibles somewhere. I'm at my mom's. My dad definitely has Bibles. I'm not sure where they are. Jen says he does not bother me now, not physically anywhere. And yes, you work. So that's good that you're able to, have some income. You'll probably be somewhat taken care of with child support or alimony, but it's good that he's not bothering you now. Is he good with the kids? How is he with the kids? 1010 means acknowledgement. CT talk. Okay. Roger that. CB talk. I used to have a CB. Those were the best. I had a CB that scratched the top of your car. Those were a lot of fun though. Those before I kind of had a CB and then instantly got a cell phone, one of those suitcase cell phones back in like 88. When did I have my first cell phone? My first cell phone was between 86 and 88. That was so nice. It was like $1.50 a minute though. And he says he feels a bond with the kids. Oh, no bond. Oh. And that's the thing. A lot of times they don't. It's probably going to be hard on the kids. At least he's honest. Like, I don't think he's bullshitting. A lot of narcissists lie, but there's times that they do tell the truth. Yeah, because if they're not serving a purpose or they're a hassle or he's got that new supply or if he ends up dating or whatever, the kids are going to be seen as a hassle. And that is really sad. That's got to be hard on the kids. But at least he won't fight you so hard over the 13-year-old. And also, too, I believe, at 14, and it varies with kids' ages, but a lot of times, too, if the kid decides, I'm staying with mom, they'll just accept it. They won't necessarily bring the kid back to dad. So that's kind of a little easier on the heart than having like a 4-year-old taken from you and you can't see the kid. So keep us posted on that, Jen. Oh, my goodness. How long was it bad with you guys, though? And if you don't mind sharing, you don't have to. Calibri says, I've been noticing that my other male neighbors are in hiding. I haven't seen them for so many weeks. I noticed that the male narc was mirroring one of my neighbors in dressing up. Huh. And in a sense, that's like a compliment, you know. But narcs like to mirror. That's how they catch us. So they know it works. So that's interesting. Huh. Calibri, where you live, is it extra cold? Because our neighbors aren't out as much. I'm in Michigan. Part of it's because of the weather, but also the holidays. So you think that they're just on the down low? Lily says he's bothering his new supply gen. Could be. Could be. Yeah. He's not bothering you. He's busy bothering the new supply. So at least you're safe. Bad for 23 years the whole time. Oh, Jen. I like giving nicknames. If you hate the nicknames I give you, just tell me and I'll stop doing it to the best of my ability. But you're Jen. But bad for 23 years the whole time. A few breadcrumbs and future faking on occasion. Gosh. Yeah, and I know Samantha, she's not logged in, but she's kind of going through that too. It's like bad the whole time. And we stick it out for so long. You're not the only one that's doing that. John says, I've noticed that all the narcs that mess with me are in hiding too. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Running Bear says, yupper. I'm going to say you meant pastries, not pasties. Youper? Are you saying youper or yupper? Because a youper is somebody from the Upper Peninsula. And I think they spell it Yooper. Lily says, what do you mean future faking? Promising you the world. Yeah, whatever, something in the future, whether it's I'm going to marry you, or I promise, this time we're going camping this summer, or I promise, I'll clean out the garage, or I promise I'll hang the curtains, just whatever it is. They just want to appease you. They want to shut you up. They want to make you think they're going to do something. And it could just be substantial things like a cruise around the world, or just all the bullshit. Yeah. Don't worry, honey. I can watch the kids so you can go see your mom. And then they back out of it. It's just promise after promise after promise. Any promise relating to the future. And then they just give up on it because they either don't remember. They're known for not remembering. And I've talked about that too, that their brains are different. They just say stuff. It is like the kids where, I promise I'll be good. I promise I'll stay in my seat. And they just say it. It's like what they're supposed to say. So the narcissist sometimes just says what they're supposed to say. Have you ever done some brain dead stuff where you end up, I don't know, you show up at work. You're like, how the hell did I get here? It's like you go into that brain dead moment, kind of like on autopilot, and that's sometimes kind of what they do too. They just know, I guess I'm supposed to keep my wife happy, so I'll say this. Or they know that they're in an argument, so they just say what they think will make it better. Jen says, I think long-term means you are a codependent, so you're working on that. Yeah. It could be low self-esteem. Or codependent. I believe there's a little bit of a difference, that you feel you can't make it on your own. And then there's others that just need the person, like in every way, not just like a house to live in. That's my take on it. But kind of, there's something that went on that made you stay, especially after so many attempts of strangling. There's something going on. That's okay. There's stuff going on with all of us, pretty much. It's a healing process that we have to go through. JG says, have you guys ever been violent? Yeah, let's ask, have you guys ever been violent? I've never been violent. John says, so true, Hawaii. She wanted us to go together. The local park, etc. didn't happen. And John, you said she was willing to pay for part of that too, right? Because guys, watch out. Sometimes women, guys will do it too, but sometimes women will use you for trips, and it's where they don't even plan on paying for a soda for you. Jen says, I've not been violent, but it's called reactive abuse. It does happen. And I know that's why a lot of us are like, was I the narcissist? It's when we act out of character. Yeah, there's times that in reaction, you might have to get violent back. Like, if you're being strangled, I can go, sweetie, let me bake you some cookies and we can talk about this. There's times you like slap them to get off of you or kick them in the nuts. So sometimes, yeah, it can be seen as violent, but it's due to reaction. If that makes any sense. Kalibi says, I could hear my male neighbors move around their unit, but does not get themselves subjected to the narcs. Interesting. Huh. The story is unfolding. JG says to Jen, life's all how you react. And that is the truth. That's why we have to be careful going into new relationships, that we don't bring our baggage because we're going to react the wrong way. Also, have a positive outlook. It changes the way you talk. Also, being more confident, instead of saying, you probably wouldn't want to date me because I'm older and not as cute as the other girls. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, you're right. So have confidence, and even you have to believe in yourself. And it's going to make a difference, if you're like, hey, would you like to go out, as opposed to you probably don't want to. So confidence is important. So fake it till you make it. I give you permission to fake it till you make it. Lily says, no, have not been violent. I was able to hear violence being a criminal court reporter for years. In one ear, out the other. But in real life, so scary. Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I was in law school, and some of the cases are crazy. Also studying criminal justice, but yeah, being in seeing the people too. Did it make a difference? A difference to you too, seeing them inside the courthouse, Lily, where you can actually see some of them? I'm sure were like, so like I killed the person, or so I blew up their car. Like, what's the big deal? Running Bear says Toronto. I've been to Toronto. I went to the Toronto Blue Jays. I got to see them years ago. Also went fishing for gold. I wish I remembered where we were, or panning for gold inside like a museum. It was fun. It was a really good trip. That's probably back in 1978. John says, I'm not a violent person myself, but at some point I actually had to get serious and threaten a few people with that. But that was enough to put them straight. Be careful with threatening, because sometimes people will call you back on it. And, yeah, there's times we have to lay down the law. I realized with my brother, I'm not saying he was a narcissist, but growing up, I did this one, wax on, wax off, the Karate Kid, where you wax on, wax off. You're supposed to block, but I basically left wide open. And, yeah, he punched me really hard. But whenever, like if I ever, like he might hit me and I'd hit him back, just kind of like brother sister stuff, and he would pummel me. So I learned never to do that, because he would pummel me. So we have to be careful. It's a balance. We never know how people are going to react. But John, I can get it. Where you got to stand up for yourself, not take any shit anymore. Oh, on I-95, I've been there. Lily says, one time at night in traffic jam on I-95, a big truck bypassed on the shoulder, then cop gets behind him with lights and siren, and I'm a few cars back and got so nervous. Could be a shootout. Yeah, there could be. And I told you my ex was a state cop. He actually got shot at. Yeah, the guy had just murdered somebody in Indiana, murdered his mother in Indiana, and was driving. I've been too, where they do have the guns drawn. Yeah, it's you never know how people are going to react. Yeah, and Lily? Why'd they have the guns drawn? Did they have the guns drawn? Is that what you're saying? There can be shootouts. You never know. People are kind of trigger happy sometimes too. Jen says, I tried to pry his hands off my neck, but did not be violent. Yeah, sometimes we got to play it cool. Otherwise, they're just going to come at us more. John, I am so sorry you went through that. And Running Bear's being shy, retracting his message. And I don't know if you're male or female, Running Bear. Lily says truck wouldn't pull over. The cop gave up and realized it was more important to get to the accident site. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they will pull those guns out. Sam says, once in reactive abuse, I did almost break my own hand hitting the car window. He was mocking me and not letting me speak. Yeah, there's times, yeah, we get so freaking frustrated that all that adrenaline that we want to get rid of it somehow. And a lot of times we're asking them to stop. They don't stop. And I get it, guys. I get it. Running Bear says, Ms. McDonald. Is that you? Who's Miss McDonald? What was the one thing that we couldn't call Sam? We weren't allowed to. I can't remember. John says I set up boundaries basically, and Running Bear was there in 2000. JG says one thing that makes me laugh is once you get serious with someone or physical, that person or people will then try to give you respect. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it can happen, but if I try to bitch slap you, I'm getting my ass beat. Yeah, there's times that dominance makes a difference. You're right. Sometimes too, the way you talk, like I'm not taking no shit, you know. Respect, try to be cool with you. These gang members, street people, most are spineless cowards. That's why they run in groups. They need each other. Yeah, and yeah, they're entitled. They want their own territory. They think they're badasses, but you know, they like to use weapons because they don't trust their hands. They're not strong enough. It's sad, all the gangs. Like I studied some of the Detroit gangs, and it was crazy. I saw this one lady who looked almost identical to me. Saying like I saw her naked, and she had long blonde hair, but her face was crushed in, so you couldn't see her face. Her face was crushed in with a street pole, like a street light, a big metal thing. They killed her with a street pole, and some of the things they did, cut people's feet off, cut a penis off. Like they did some crazy stuff. And the thing is, like there was this one girl, she was over her biker boyfriend. This is her boyfriend, and they killed him. And she had a saw. She was posing. She was naked, crotch out, and everything. And she has a saw, right? Like she's sawing off his hoo-ha. And like, how do you kill someone and go, oh, wouldn't this be a great photo op? Let me get naked. And so sick the way people think. And that was her man. Yep. I don't know if it was drug related, but definitely isn't normal. Lily says they were all found guilty except one purse snatcher because attorney did mistaken identity, reasonable doubt. Detectives are brilliant and didn't cease to amaze me. So yeah, it's amazing if you think about all the ways that they can solve crimes too. It's like fascinating. So yeah, they are the detectives nowadays definitely are amazing. Running Bear says went there to move her to Western Prairies. Oh, okay, interesting. In July, summer, Transcomida. I love July. Sam says, question. If I call the cops on husband and tell them husband is raging and putting me down in front of kids, being aggressive with kids, play the recordings of my husband threatening harm on me, what will happen? It depends. They're gonna if you are saying that you are in fear and you have the cops come out, you can't really retract what you said, and it'll go to the courts. It'll be up to the cops what they do with it. They might ask you, what you want done, or they might remove the husband. But I believe that it kind of has to be an ongoing thing, not like, 2 weeks ago he did this. Maybe you can bring it to the police department and have them listen to it. But if you're going to do a 911 call, it should be kind of like in the heat of the moment, or where you still feel unsafe. So if he said a bunch of bullshit, and you're not feeling comfortable about going to sleep. Um, but I think you can, what is it that you want to happen? And I can, um, if he's in the middle of it, the putting things down, in front of the kids, calling you fat, stupid, ugly, lazy, those kind of things, they'll probably overlook that stuff. But if he's saying, I don't know, maybe even I wish you were dead, or I could beat your head in if, you piss me off so much I could beat your head in. Or I can't wait till you fucking die, you're so annoying, things like that. But the cops, once you call, a lot of times it's where you can't retract, because a lot of times people will be like, what did I do? Or they get scared that their person's going to get mad once they get out of jail. So they could either have you guys separate, or like where they remove him, or they could take him to jail. There's different things depending on the cop, depending on how you present things, depending on the degree of fear and damage. Each cop is different. Just like some cops will let you out of a ticket, some will write you for everything. So let me know what you want to happen, and I can let you know how to get that to happen, or what you are afraid of happening and don't want to happen. And then we can go from there. Lily says, no guns drawn, but your mind conjures that up, because people are nuts these days. You're right. Our minds, it's protective though, because it could happen. So our brains are built to protect us. And also when we're doing these narcissistic relationships, our brain is telling us something is off. And we get in that fawn state. They used to have just flight or fight, and we get in that fawn state where it's like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. And I think with lots of love, Sam, I think that's kind of where you are. It was Mrs. Bundy. That's right. Sam was Mrs. Bundy, and she laid down the law. Don't call me that. And Jen says, oh my God, that's brutal. I think you're talking about the crimes from the Detroit motorcycle gangs. I think that's what you're talking about. And a lot of narcs had that black and white thinking. So, yeah, I'm glad you didn't have to see the guns drawn, but it can happen in a second. JG says, I've saved lives, fought for people. That is amazing. We need more people like that. And, if we would all care about each other, things would go along a lot easier. And thank you for that like. That helps with the algorithm. I see that. You guys are helping me. I appreciate that. And yeah, Sam, it was crazy. They cut the guy's feet off. They cut his hands off. There's no body for this one guy. And he just had like a hand holding some prune juice. He liked to drink prune juice. So they just had the feet. I can't show you. Where are my feet? They just had 2 feet crisscrossed and 2 arms, no body, holding prune juice. So there's some sick people out there. And it's in their clubhouse. They got this dead body. And that was one of their own people. It wasn't like the other gang's person. John says, my snakes want to know if they can climb your Christmas tree, Cynthia. They were out today. Heck no! Snakes scare me. Yeah, even the plastic snakes I have at school for the kids scare me. They got me. I have this like bug that's about this big old bug, and it's all plastic stuff. So I would use it when I taught English as a second language. So I'm like, this is a bug, this is a beetle, this is a snake, this is a frog. What color is a frog? So I had all these little toys that I used as visual aids. So I put them in the little calm down corner for the kids, and one had put it in the middle of this area of my classroom. It looks so real. Scared the crap out of me. I'm like, oh crap, I'm the one who has to take care of this. It was huge, like the size of a small mouse. But luckily It was just plastic. So no, John, as much as I love you, no. Lily says, Sam, they'd probably tell you to separate with the kids and put a restraining order, so he'd have to get out of the house. Yeah, they might remove him that night too. So yeah, I'm going to read that again because Lisa Lily says pretty much pretty true. That they'll probably tell you to separate with the kids and put a restraining order. So he'd have to get out of the house. Yeah, since if it's not in the heat of the moment, just like Sam says, you should call a non-emergency number or go to the substation to get advice in that. And that's kind of what I was saying is unless it's like in immediate stuff. So yeah, personal protection orders back in the day, they were like $10. So they're probably 10 to 20 bucks. Also depends on where you live, but they're not expensive. But he won't be able to come back home. So you have to remember that. You've been looking up Ohio laws and how it would be dealt with exactly, trying to know what would happen ahead of time. You can also call, what happens if I put a restraining order on my husband? And you have to think too, if you're going to put a restraining order on him, do you want him out of the house? Because that's what's going to happen. And he can go to jail if you guys break that personal protection order. So, make sure you have proof of this going on for the past 4 years. He, WM did. I'm not sure what that means. This is the thing, Sam. I know you're kind of going back and forth. You've been documenting this for 4 years. That's kind of a sign that you're not feeling safe. Do you want to leave him? Have you decided that? Because you might just want to file for divorce. And that's up to you what you do, but it's not safe. I've heard the audio recordings, and you've been documenting this. It hasn't been getting better. You're wanting to go to the cops for help. And I want you to look at, if you could control the situation, what would you do? I know sometimes you're kind of putting it off, and I get it, but you're kind of having it to put to the cops. Are you wanting him out of the house? A divorce would do that. Are you wanting him to get his act together? There's something inside you that I want you to bring forth and let us know what your game plan is that you are hoping for, and we can get you there. And we'll also give you advice and suggestions. John says get a phase plasma rifle in the 40-watt range. I don't know if that's why we would do that. I don't know if that's a real gun or 40-watt. I think you mean plasma rifle. Is that like a lightsaber? Lily says, I mean, in all my criminal trials, they never put the wrong person in the hot seat. What is it? 4% of people on death row, they're seeing shouldn't have been there. Yeah, and a lot of times they're pretty good. Like they are pretty spot on when they get a suspect. But I know I got fucked over. And that's the thing. They're fairly accurate, but there are times, they have people who have been set free. So yeah, Lily, you might have seen every single one. Yep, you're done, you're gone. And that can happen. It's not, there are a lot of good judges and cops out there. John says oh, sorry, I read that. Samantha says he did tell me I'd be better off dead than to not listen to him. So remember that. That's pretty powerful. And did you notice how I brought that up? Because I kind of had the feel that he had said something like that. He's threatening your life, honey. Like, that's not even something you joke about, Because how do you feel comfortable? This is supposed to be the man that loves you and is telling you, you'd be better off dead. Like, this should be somebody who doesn't want to lose you. So Lily says you could even get advice from the Department of Family Services. Yeah, so you can contact probably what county, city hall, um, county offices, family court type of things like that, Department of Family Services. I never really utilized those. So, uh, yeah, I'm sure there's some of that in Ohio. JG says, Samantha, who's driving who nuts? Her husband's driving her nuts. And, do you feel that you're driving your husband nuts? Sometimes too, the way we handle things too is just not conducive to their peace. And I'm not saying that we're wrong when we're doing reactive abuse, but it does increase the toxicity. And I got another like. Thank you for helping with the algorithm. John says, true, Cynthia. We form scenarios. And I think that was in response. Who was that? I don't know if it was Lily or who was it? Or Jen. But yeah, forming the scenarios in our minds. Yeah, I agree with you. So I got to scroll back up. So yeah, the scenarios in our minds in moments of stress as to how to deal with it. You're right, John. Sam says, I truly want him to separate. He won't do it. I've asked him to separate. I'd like cops to tell him he must leave. I am also afraid of just making him angry and not fixing anything. This is probably what he's thinking is he's paying the bills. Why don't you get the fuck out? Um, you know, are both your names on the house or apartment? That's where it gets tough. That's where it gets tough. Who leaves who? Because you want him to leave. He probably uh, might be okay if you left. Um, that's hard because he is paying the bills and he might not want to give that up. Like, fuck you. You want this over? Then you leave. And that's where it gets hard. Yeah, that's hard. Lily says you need to divorce him is the bottom line. Blunt but true. But great question, Cynthia. What do you want to happen? Yeah, because we can sit here and tell you, do this, do that, and you're gonna be like, I don't know. So it has to come from with what's in your heart. And um, I saw something again today. Staying for the kids. The kids are better off in a broken home than an abusive home, and that's hard. You know. Would you be okay leaving? Would you be okay leaving, Sam? Because you can leave right now. You can leave right now if you call someone or go to a woman's shelter. And I know that's scary. Um, so JG says, Samantha, why does he have to separate from you? Why can't you separate from him? That's kind of what I'm saying too, because um, I get it. That's your house. It's also his house or whatever you guys live in. And um, I'm, I get it, but he's not going to leave. He is not going to leave, especially since he's been paying the bills. He's going to see it as his house. Fuck her. Even though you guys had the agreement. Now, the courts will see it different. The courts will see that you guys had that agreement, and to your detriment, because of this agreement, that you weren't able to work, you weren't able to possibly continue education, and you've been out of the workforce for so many years that going back in, you're going to get a lower salary than, let's say, what I make because I have more work experience. You go up the ladder and make a little bit more money. So they'll compensate for that. But um, I know it's scary and you probably don't, there's probably money in your accounts, but he could drain it quickly. So maybe if you got $1,000 or whatever you can have as a little cushion or something. Have you contacted your parents? Sam says, JG, while husband does enjoy making people feel like they're going insane, he's a difficult person and he's extremely antisocial. So he's super awkward when anyone tries talking to him. Jen says that's a tough situation that is easy to get into and hard to get out of. Yeah, because our hearts are still tied. Like she still really loves him. And we have to remember we have to love ourselves. I gave the example of my mom yesterday where the lady said, you can move rooms. All you got to do is put in a request. And her roommate keeps her up just because the roommate has like breathing issues and machines going. and is very like she taps her hand for some reason while she's sleeping, also falls out of bed. And so they said, you can get a different room. And she was like, but I'm worried about her, and I want to make sure she doesn't get out of bed. She needs assistance. I want to be able to call. And they're like, you need to take care of yourself. Don't worry about her. She said, it probably sounds cold. Don't worry about her. You're in here to get better. And, Jen, you got to worry about yourself, and the kids. But, when we love someone, we if it's not safe, it's toxic. So no matter how much we love somebody, if it's toxic, just like if I love my car and my car is always going to pump carbon monoxide through the pipes and kill me, it doesn't matter how much I love my car. It's toxic and it could lead to death. So there's times we got to get rid of things. So Sam says, JG, I have 3 children, homeschool, and I have no family around. He does have family to go to. And Running Bear says that's why they make handcuffs. Yeah, there's times if he's going to fuck with you, maybe get him arrested. But we got to be careful, too. It'd be nice to prevent things from getting that damaging. He says, do your snakes French kiss you? Your male cat does. Do they print the split tongue? So let's find out, John. Do your snakes French kiss you, smoochy smooch? Your male cat does. Okay, so as long as they're not narcissistic, I guess I can condone it. JG says he won't separate from you. You must separate from him. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if somebody's pointing a gun in your face as an analogy, like, leave me the fuck alone, leave me the fuck alone. We have to leave. We can't sit there and wait for them to go, you're right. Okay, I'll go. But it's hard, Running Bear says deadbeat and listless. Yeah, there's a lot of deadbeats out there. Sam says, honestly, if we didn't have kids, I know we wouldn't be married. And kids are around for just a little while. And I don't know, John or Sam. If you wouldn't be married, you shouldn't be married. I don't know. It's not safe for the kids. Like, I heard your kid in the audio recording getting upset, and you're like, it's okay, mommy's here, baby, mommy's here, it's okay, mommy's got you, mommy's protecting you, whatever your exact words were. But the kid doesn't feel protected because it's going to happen again, and you're just going to reassure them that it's okay, and it's not okay. And then they're going to start accepting that kind of stuff later on in life, or they're going to be confused, they're going to be on edge, high anxiety. And I see the outcomes in the kids, at school. And do your kids act out? Are your kids acting out, wetting the bed? How are the kids handling it? Do they talk back? Sam, what's going on with the kids? How are they acting? Are they skittish? What's going on with them? Calibri, I can't believe that 2 narcs are in a relationship or situationship. The female narc is a covert narc. The male narc is a malignant narc with dark triads. They feed off each other. I talk about those 2 kids, that one boy and that one girl. They are so toxic and they are drawn to each other. They could pick on anybody else and be the winner. They don't always want to be the winner. They want the fight, because those 2 kids, they could win over any other kid in the classroom. They can go against each other. They just want to win. They just want to argue. And it's so weird. And then they sit next to each other, and those are first graders, and just the intensity, like they hate each other, and then they want to sit next to each other, and it's okay, you can use this, and then other times it's like, give me that, don't take it out of my hand. So yeah, Calibria works for them for a while. It's not going to last forever. Lily says, right, JG, agree with you, she needs to. And John says, just kidding, Cynthia from the first Terminator movie doesn't exist. I'm still waiting to hear if you get French kissed by your snake. That's the question on the table. JG says, people of the chat know when to cut people out. Cut them out and keep pushing. And yeah, JG, Good point. We got to start learning that. I'm bad about that. There are times that we have to cut people out. Samantha says, I want him to get out of the house and get help and straighten up. And then maybe with meds, he'd get better and come back. I think I'm just hoping. But this is a thing, Sammy Sam. Narcissists do not, there's no pill at all that will cure narcissism. If he's dealing with anxiety, they can do that, some medication. If he's dealing with depression, they can give him some medication. Not for narcissism. Narcissism is a whole different thing. And I hear the audio recordings. He's very narcissistic. I am not a clinician. I've been certified to teach psychology, but based on his rages and the level of the things, like the drawer was not that big of a deal. I get it. I get frustrated too when you can't quickly fix it. But, and I've never told somebody they'd be better off dead. Like all that kind of shit. That's narcissism. The other things too, there's times when you're like, I'm so sick of this. Why didn't you have the kids, why didn't you go get the shoes for the kids? Now it's going to fuck up the day. We got to go to Payless. Let it go. Or, kind of have a little tiff for a little bit, but he just needed to keep bitching and bitching and bitching. He's definitely, I kind of wouldn't doubt it, but, I don't see him coming back. I don't see him coming back. I don't think it's healthy for him to come back. If you break it off with him, maybe he would because of the kids, but there's going to be built up resentment. It's going to change the dynamics, and he's going to punish you for it. So even if he does come back, he's still going to bring that up, slapping in your face. Just hoping because I love him, but you can't do this anymore. Either try for counseling now. A lot of times if he is a narcissist, it's not effective because he's going to lie. He's going to turn things against you. And it's almost hopeless unless he says, you're right, we do need some work. I don't know if you guys are religious. That might help, but not always. Is he willing to... Have you even talked about counseling? Have you even said, this isn't working? This isn't working. We can't argue like this. We have to change how we're talking to each other. Because sometimes too, even just the way you talk can make it healthy. Doesn't mean that the anger is gone, but it's a safe spot to discuss the anger. That makes a huge difference. So Jen, have you talked to him about changing how, and I'm not saying like you need to stop, and you're not quite that angry either. You're just like, stop. But it has to be calm and matter of factly, like, look, we can't keep arguing in front of the kids. How can we change it? As opposed to, you need to stop doing it, and it drives me crazy and I feel unsafe. Don't get energy. If you're like, but I can't handle it, and you're different than I am, but I'm trying to get where you see the energy, like it's just driving me crazy and I can't do it, and it feeds into their energy. You just gotta be matter of fact. It's not working. I love you very much. We just can't do that anymore, and see where that goes. But he's gonna say something, and you cannot let it trigger him, because then it's that energy, and that energy is going to get him going. Objects in motion stay in motion, and it's real hard to do because you're really connected to it, and the triggers you have are so fresh. It's going to be hard not to be triggered. Jen says the new supply just picked up your daughter. She parks on the street where you can't see her, not in the driveway. She must be ashamed, or she's afraid of me. Interesting. Was it your man or your ex, and she drove? Is that how it goes? She probably didn't have her hair and makeup. Like, oh shit. That's crazy. Oh, Jen. Now, is he? Is that the 13-year-old? I'm assuming. I'm trying to keep stories. I think 13 and 19-year-old. Is a 19-year-old a boy? That's my guess. So good. Is she going? Oh, for New Year's. Are you doing anything for New Year's, Jen? We have a New Year's party tomorrow night if you want to join us. Lily says, "Narcs don't get better. Don't be delusional. Sorry, but true." And that's the thing. Like Sam, we really um, want to be real with you. You know, we can say, and that's great. That would be fantastic. But you have to be convicted to what you want. And um, you know, if you talk to him calmly, he's not going to change anything, or he doesn't even see it. He'll probably say, "What the fuck?" and not listen to what they don't listen to logic. They don't hear your side. If you tell them your side, they're going to take it as a personal attack. It's really hard, especially during the devaluation stage. Maybe down the road, you could at least have a conversation. He is not in conversation mode. He's in that devaluation, real close to discard stage, or at least emotional discard. JG says, "I think your love for your husband is an illusion, not true love." It's that trauma bond. It's that trauma bond, and um, if it was never good, maybe it was a full illusion. And you develop feelings, and due to kind of, I always hated when people said that about me, but some low self-esteem, where we didn't stand up for things. In the beginning, you should have stood up for what was going on with your grandpa. I know at first you didn't really know what was going on, but um, John says, "Sam, I know it's hard to deal with, especially when you really love someone, but you must protect yourself and the kids." And that's excellent advice. Sam says, "I'm sad to say I think the love is one-sided." You're right, JG. And Lily is wondering how old your daughter is. And one-sided love can be extremely painful, extremely lonely, and you're going to lose yourself. Lily says, "Sam, snap out of it." I know it's that cognitive dissonance. She is at least admitting it's probably one-sided, so that's good. Um, and, yeah, it's kind of like Lily's right, uh, get back to reality. What is exactly, I mean, to live with somebody who can even say, especially, it's not a roommate, it's your husband saying, if you don't, whatever he said about being dead, if he didn't listen. Sam says, "Absolutely, John." Look at all these cute emojis. Running Bear says, "Call human services." And yeah, got to call someone. There are people out there to help you. And JG sent an email to you, Lily. So keep us posted. Oh, smoochy, smoochy, smoochy. Lily kisses dogs. Was it dogs or cats? Your cat? Your cat. I think it was a cat, and I can't imagine that tongue French kissing. Lily says, "All the logistics are hard to leave, divorce, etc. But look at your alternative: to stay." And yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but sometimes, you know, it's a much brighter uh, outcome. Freedom and not being afraid, not crying or walking on eggshells or on edge. Lily says, "To what email?" Ah, yeah, what email? How'd you get Lily's email? Did you send it to me and I'm supposed to forward it? We were going to do it that way, the little roundabout thing. Jen says, "Does she have the ability for employment?" She does have 3 kids. One or two are school ages. Both, you got 2 that are school age and a 2-year-old. So she does need daycare, at least for the 2-year-old. What about working in even a daycare? You can a lot of times take your kid to daycare with you, not necessarily the school age kids, but um, you are able-bodied, and I don't know your education. We can help you with some creative suggestions if you're not with a college degree, but you don't always need a degree to get a job. So, Sam, are you able to work? What's your story on work history, stuff like that, so we can help you? Um, Running Bear, shoot to put out hell's fire. Water gun. Water gun, we need a big old water gun. Lily says, "Right, John, he gets off on the torture." And they do, they get a kick out of it sometimes. JG says, joking, "Don't have your email." Okay. Little jokester. And you haven't changed your profile yet, JG. Be proud. Show those curly locks. We got your profile pic with long hair. Running Bear says, get a pet. Pets can help. Pets can definitely help. Where's Dixie Doo? Where's my Dixie Doo Barker? My pup's around here somewhere. Samantha says, I got to protect the kids. I'm not letting the crap continue. And that's the biggest thing. You're telling them, I'll protect you. And, you know, um, you need to follow through for that. you know the kids, even emotional abuse. You heard the way the kids were being talked to in that audio, and just the way they saw dad treating you, that your males are going to feel that it's okay to treat a female that way, but females, children, are going to feel that's how they should be talked to. And you don't want your girls being in that kind of relationship, and you don't want a son being a dick. You want really good people that you're raising. You're dedicating your life to your kids, you know? And JG says, Sam, did you want a divorce before you had kids? JG, no. I got pregnant 2 weeks after married, but I had no boundaries or backbone then. I'm a much different person now. Gotcha, says JG. John says, be strong, Samantha. We will support you. And we will. I'm trying to do nightly check-ins with you guys, even on New Year's Eve. My sister's like, can't you not do it? I'm like, nope, gotta do it. So I'll be here for you guys. Sam says, wow, that's right, Cynthia. My daughter acts out at me. She will begin to rage over little things and start to blame me and demand me to fix it, but to stay away from her. She apologizes later. She's doing it, honey. You gotta break it. Like 6 to 8. That's like I heard 6 years old. It's kind of like make it or break it. And you got an 8-year-old. 2 years past the 6 year. I mean, kids continue to build with, but they might be set. They might be set in that, and you're gonna have to try to change it. You got that 2-year-old. A lot more hope for the 2-year-old coming out less scathed, and you can already see it. They're teenagers, and she's already showing it. So Samantha says, and she says, I'm sorry I let daddy get to me. So she sees where it's coming from. But eventually, if she is in that, it's going to be her way of life to get what she needs or what she wants. And Lily says, I'll send it to you in a code, JG. I love codes. I used to be fascinated with those. John says, the snakes are very friendly, but we all have boundaries. No kissing. Calibri says, I just don't want to be around when these two monsters get tired of each other. I know that the male narc is not getting any sex. He complained about her to me. Ooh, yeah. If yeah, sexual tension. And yeah, if you can hear it, their arguments, things like that. Yeah, you don't want to be around when it goes down. JG says, Samantha, all kids learn how to gaslight and manipulate. Teach them how to have real psychology strength. Excellent. That's true. Kids, it forms their personality, a lifelong personality. And it's something that as they're getting older, we do have to change, kind of teach them how to deal with things, but they're going to be so stressed out that they're not going to focus on the right way, on the things that we tell them. They're going to go into survival mode. And that's kind of what your kid's doing when they act out that way. They're in survival mode already. Lily says, funny, John. And Samantha's agreeing with you, JG, and continues saying, yes, the resentment, he wants to punish. He feels I deserve punishment. Fuck yeah. That's all he's about. He is about punishing. Yeah. Samantha, and that's no joke. No joke. The house wasn't perfect, so he's going to punish you. He was a dick. He was yelling at you. I heard that over, what was it, nail polish. You're trying everything. Like, I will take care of it, and that's why I went to the store, and, yeah, he will punish you. Divorces with him will probably be messy. Uh, what does he like? I know you said he plays video games with the kids. Does he play a lot with the kids? Different things other than video games. Some guys, I guess girls do too. I don't, but a lot of times guys really like video games. So maybe it's a cool thing for him to play because he likes video games. But I don't really think he'd fight for custody. He might do weekends, but I don't know. JG says, Lily, do you do MySpace? I have a MySpace out there somewhere. Um, we need to get with the times. But yeah, I got one too. We should do that. Probably be the only 3 people still using it. JG, Samantha, don't ever kill him. And yeah, that's the thing. Things reactive abuse. It gets scary. I don't think JG would kill him, but sometimes it can get heated, and you might not. But oh gosh, Lily says, Sam, I think I asked you before, but all this is on a daily basis. So is it on a daily basis? He's a sick pup. Yeah, a lot of narcissists, even your dicky dicks, will give you a break, but I wouldn't doubt it. Sam, is his pretty much daily? Because I can kind of guess. Thank you for that thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. I appreciate that so much. Lily, you don't have a MySpace? Running Bear is giving big hugs. Yeah, sometimes Running Bear, we do need those hugs. Lily, Sam, you are non-reactive to him. Or what or how do you respond? I'll let you answer that, and I'm going to add to that too. I've heard her audio recordings where she says stop. So she's telling him what to do. He doesn't like that. She says it like firmly, kindly, but she's also saying, I don't feel, did she say safe? She says, I'm trying to, she does say that she's trying to express herself, that she just wants to be heard. So she's trying to use what she's learned, that we're not being heard, we're not being validated. She's using her knowledge, but he doesn't get it because he doesn't have the same knowledge that we have. And she is saying, I just want to be heard. And they don't get it. It's going over his head. Lily says counseling won't work. Yeah, it almost never does, especially the gist I get from him is he's just in narc mode. He is in narc mode, not let's make this better. Because he's not saying, things as far as a relationship, it's just you're a piece of shit as opposed to we need to learn how to do this better because the kids, it's just you suck. And yeah, she's not non-reactive. You are still reactive, Sam. If you don't realize that, you are still reactive. You're trying to explain yourself. He doesn't want to hear what you have to explain, and you're in a sense asking him to reflect on himself. And that's Jen says he was not with her. I think he has new supply as an errand girl already. Okay, yeah. So, did your daughter just go out to the car? Like, I have to find her down the street. Oh my goodness, Jen, crazy. JG, check Instagram messages. Is that for me? What about my MySpace? JG says, I sent you my email via Instagram messages, Cynthia. Okay, so Lily, if you would like to interact with JG, I am your go-between, so you guys can keep your contact information private. I won't share it with anybody except in between you guys. So Sam says, Lily, yes, it's daily. Daily is way too much. Even like I talk about my best friend's narcissist who is like over the top, like fucked in the head. It's not even daily with him. Now you do have kids adding to the stress. And it's not the kid's fault. It's just more commotion around the house, more chances for things to go wrong in his eyes. But a high school diploma, there's you can even be like possibly an apartment manager where you get your apartment that before. This was 1997, and I made, was it 26,000 plus a free, it was a 2 bedroom apartment, a nice apartment. Um, and so now that's probably worth like, I don't know, 45. That's, maybe I should go back into doing that. Um, but leasing consultant, that was a fun job. I like that. And you don't need a high school, or I'm sorry, you don't need a college degree for that. Um, and we can, some waitresses make really good money too. Depends on where you waitress. John says, love that Cynthia, pets are important. You have 12. It's insane. I couldn't remember 12 names. It'd be Snaky Snake and Slither Snake. Sam says, JG, aw, but I'd like to see your face. Yeah, we need to see your face. You need to see your face. There's filters out there. Take a picture. Lily says, so he goes to work and comes home and is amused by mistreatment. Don't ever think it's a reflection on you. Excellent. Lisa, Lily, you are correct. Don't think it's a reflection of you, on you, or that people are judging you because of him. I think that's in your head, but shouldn't be. Yeah, sometimes too we can kind of guess. What do you think, Sammy Sam? Is that kind of going on in your head? He's Sean Penn. Hey, man. Yeah. And don't use Sean's picture. Use your picture. Sam says 8-year-old and 2-year-olds are like you. Definitely your personality. And they're gentle and loving and happy and stand up against the ridiculous behavior. And that's interesting. The middle one, the middle child, birth order makes a difference. Second born, a lot of times, the dynamics of those kids, that makes sense why your 6-year-old is the one that's acting out. Because, yeah, we can go into birth order. I want to do a whole video on that, but that definitely makes sense. Give that one extra love. Big hug. John says, sending kisses. Oops. Well, that was written in English, so those aren't French kisses. Lily says, you can get a job easier these days. Oh, yes, definitely. They are definitely in need of people. Factory jobs. My neighbor does a factory job. He's making like 46,000 with health insurance. Those are long days, but receptions, you can work at a tanning salon, get free tanning. They don't pay quite as much. We want to get you with a good job that's going to pay you what you're worth, especially when you have to pay for daycare. There's a lot of jobs you can make some good money. Some of them are even stay at home at Amazon, I believe. $20 an hour. I don't think there's health benefits with that. Call centers. A lot more stay-at-home jobs. Look up remote jobs. JG says, my mom raised 2 kids, had a job, and paid for a house. It can be done. I had a house on 5 acres with a creek going through it with a pool and a jacuzzi. I did that all by myself and raised my daughter. So it can be done. It can be tough. And I wouldn't suggest getting that big of a place or that much property because it can get expensive, and I'd rather, looking back, spend money a different way. But you live and learn. Now I want the house back now, but when I have my daughter, it was a perfect place to grow up, though. It was really nice for her. Lily says, single mom too. I had 3 daughters she raised strong. Yep, it can be done. Samantha, I just stand my ground, Lily. I try my best of what I know to do. And and this is meant with love, Sam. Some of the videos when you were standing up for yourself, you had every right to stand up for yourself, but that was fueling the fire, and the conversation would have stopped a lot earlier because they feed into that. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but with a narcissist, it fuels their fire, and it makes it worse. And it shouldn't, but without the empathy and the entitlement and they just want to win. So no matter what you say. Lily says, your mom rocks, JG. Yep, there's some strong women out there. Calibri, Lily, I'm not trying to hang around the mailboxes. I know that the narcs have a cam surveillance of the main lobby. I pick up my mail and I walk away. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, do not fuel it. Don't feed into that. JG says, I got to distance myself from them all, Lily. And that's true. Don't entertain it. Sam says, yes, you're right, Cynthia. My eyes are being opened more and more as to what I can do moving forward. And the way interacting, you just got to keep the peace. But that's not how you want to live for your life. Um, it's not going to change them. And you're not going to be able to live your life just keeping the peace. You're not a peacekeeper. You're wife material. And, is he husband material? You deserve a true husband. And, you know, I just see things getting worse, and in 10, 20 years, it's going to blow up anyways. It could be extremely toxic. By then, you're going to end up alone. It's easier to find a good partner, you know, uh, in your younger years. So I want you with somebody who truly loves you. And if you can't even say he truly loves you, he's not going to have your back. John says, Running Bear, I had a pet vole I named Little Bear. She was a rescue pet, but she passed away recently. Yes, Cynthia definitely does know about it. And she was a great little girl, and I miss her a lot, but treasure the time we had. Yeah, different animals. Some of us are attached to even the tiniest little critters, God's creatures. Yeah, you even have you had a praying mantis, and um, JG, she doesn't want to interact with you. Haha. Well, it's because you're not showing us your profile picture. She wants my reaction. Gets them off. Oh, he wants um, your reaction. Okay. I think you're talking to Sam. He wants your reaction. Gets him off. Yeah, he feeds off it. And John's just saying, don't react. Yeah. Uh, Lily saying, JG, distance from who? JG says, I'm not putting my face on YouTube profile photo. Oh, we got a shy one. Aw. Put your thumbprint on. Put your thumbprint up there. We'll run a check. We got all these criminal justice people here. Some lawyers and shit. John says, Sam, I'm noticing a change here. Oh, John, fill us in. I am too. Yeah, I'm going to let John go first, and then I'll tell you too. John, go for it, because you're right. Thank you for bringing that up, John. So I'm so glad you're here. Lily's noticing it too. We're going to let John answer, then Lily, and if anybody else wants to. JG says, sell Avon. I did sell Avon before, and you're probably telling this for Sam. It's not very profitable. You get like 20% on anything that's going to sell. They used to have like Barbie stuff where you could sell, Barbie sweatshirts, and the grandmas would buy it for their granddaughters. You only get 20% of it. You have to sell this is back in the day, but $1,500 worth of stuff to get up to 40-50%. So you can make that off as like 40-45% off like the perfumes and stuff. But then you had shipping costs and bags, and the brochures are really expensive. And then so you might make money off the perfumes, but everybody was buying all the things that they had that little, it wasn't an asterisk, but basically an asterisk by it. So all the cool stuff, the purses, the whatever people are going to buy, the high dollar stuff, you didn't make money off of. That was a 20%. But it can make you some money, I liked it. It was fun. I bought myself stuff. So yeah, Sam's curious. What are we noticing? What changed? Lily says, Sam, that you're more concise and it's coming to the forefront. Exactly. Yes. You are starting to realize, and you're starting to express it. It's being put into action. Sam says you'd like to make millions on YouTube doing knitting and crochet videos. Remote job world would be nice. You can. I do. Sam, actually. Sam, I'm so glad you brought that up. I got a job for you, girl, and it's free to start. Do you have a computer? Any of you? I'll teach you how to get a job. I do this teaching online. I had a sewing. We're going to get real about some shit. Because you can make a lot of money if you know how to do it. How I told you guys that I taught English as a second language. This is apple juice. That gets me drunk. No, I'm having some wine. But seriously, this is real talk. Any of you guys, if you want to do it, you can work around your own schedule. I will help you through it. If you want, disclaimer here. Even though they scammed me out of the last $200. I do get a referral bonus, but I've been doing this for several years. Sometimes I make $168 an hour. Sometimes it's like 21 bucks an hour, but you can do it where it's a flex class. You can teach. I have sign language. I have sewing. And I have like dinosaur type flex classes. You can also do live, which are fun. Sam, you could do this from home. Where you teach online, you can teach whatever you want. If you guys want to teach somebody how to burp, you can teach somebody how to burp. There's fart classes. I've done dinosaurs, body language, tone of voice. And it's, if you guys want to do that, Sam, if you do have a computer, I can hook you up with a job. We can get started. You can even use some of my PowerPoints to get you started. So Sam, you can do that. You just have to apply and I can help you with that. Use me because I get a referral code and it's a lifetime coaching if you need anything. But yeah, you can get a job right now. Start immediately. As long as you don't have a felony, and you can get it with a high school diploma. And you can do knitting. You can make money off your knitting. Trust me. That's a high desired class. John says, my girlfriend used to make so many great plastic canvas projects. She invented stuff too. John, you could teach inventions if you want to do it. You can make your own hours. You can teach a half hour a year if you want. Like I just took like a 2-month break. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's so nice. You can teach at 4 a.m., 9 a.m., midnight, whatever. Calibri says, narcs are all over. We're just noticing after the abuse. So it's a matter of educating oneself on how to deter or navigate around them. They are all over. You can't escape them. Different countries. So JG says to John, what happened to her? John says, thumbs up to Calibri. Sam says, that's funny because he told me in car today that you're not a keeper or wife material. All because he said I brought too much with me to the store. And I responded with, but it's just my purse and coat. You whore. Sam. Oh my goodness. You're not a keeper or even a wife material. That's the thing. What was in your purse was probably life-saving stuff. You probably had snacks and Band-Aids and extra batteries and thermal blanket and like the stuff we have in our purses. You probably had, I don't know, probably screwdrivers. But seriously, that is something, even in the future, if you guys help me, because sometimes I forget, because I'm not trying to make money off of this or really promote it. I do get that referral, but that is an instant job that pretty much anybody, as long as they get the right coaching to pass the interview, and I can help with how to make PowerPoints, as long as you have a computer that has a webcam, and internet connection, you guys can start making money around your own schedule, and that is like instant job. You can even do it when your husband's at work. And if you're teaching, if you're homeschooling, you should probably have internet and a computer. I don't know if you have a camera. That's all you need. I think you can, well, no, you could probably teach over your phone. I don't do it with my phone. John says she got sick and passed away in your arms. They only live a year. You're talking about mobile. Yeah, and that's the thing. John is so into animals. He's there to the end. Sam says, absolutely, Lily. Lily says, he's gross, Sam. Ew. Yeah, he's not the man for you. Oh my God, Cynthia, crack me up about my apple juice that gets me drunk. JG says, damn, John, sorry, man. Sam says, yeah, and that's what's so nice. You got JG and Sam and everybody that, we really care about you. I want you guys, we're not going to force John to put his picture on, even though he should, but go to John Moran. He has a YouTube video out there. And if you check out Happy Birthday, Cynthia, if that's still up, you'll see what he made a really, you can see his face. Let me, I hate to do this. There's too many notifications. Oh, does it reconnect? Does it disconnect when I do that? Yes, hydrate. Well, all right, I'll go hydrate. I'm 6'1", so I got to stay extra hydrated. I might take 2 sips. But John, yeah, you need to put your picture up. I need to hydrate. I'm so parched. Yeah, so no felonies. We are good. We are good. Yeah, don't kick his ass until you get hired. You got to do it once a year. You got to get that background check. But yeah, John, Moran. John, can I tell him your last name? um, but yeah, your pick is at. No, you need Johnny John. Put your picture up. If Sam wants to stay on the down low till she gets divorced, then I'm still thirsty. uh, and yeah, and this is the thing. Like JG is right that yeah, we do want to tell you to get that divorce, but it has to come within your heart. We don't want you looking back and regretting it or not being ready. But the abuse that should make you ready. Even though it's hard, it's kind of like sitting in a burning car going, but I love my car, I love my car. Well, it's going to kill you if you stay in it. Whether it's emotional death or hopefully not physical death. Because we're going to grow this channel and I would love to have a convention with you guys. Lily says, here they just started that with a high school diploma. You can be a substitute teacher. They might have started that too. It used to be you needed 60 credit hours, even lunch ladies, things like that. Um, it was like 125 here. Ohio, for a substitute teacher, you'd probably make anywhere from 100, or I'm sorry, 90 to 130 is my guess. Substitute teaching can be a pain in the ass, though, to be honest with you, unless you're in like a rich neighborhood. Usually, from what I've seen, inner city is a lot more challenging, but it's also kind of like you can just say fuck it. If you wanted to, you could be like, oh, I just had the kids do coloring sheets all day, so you could get away with that. They just need a body a lot of times. But kids, I know you have 3 kids, but when you got 28 kids, it can be hard. But that's that way too. It is a good job though to work around your own schedule. So Sam, we got a couple jobs you could start right away. You have essential oils and diapers, all kinds of kits, papers and crayons, and I left my purse in the car. I was going to show you guys my purse, but yeah, there's so much crap. Yeah, like I had a I think I told some of you guys this before. I had a store that had 2 apartments up top. So I had 2 apartments, a storefront. I had my own house, and I often stayed at my parents' when I would travel. So I literally had 4 places to stay. And a guy asked me if I was homeless because I had so much shit in my car. I had coffee pots, sewing machines. Just because I traveled, I had a sewing business too, so I needed all that stuff. You can do DoorDash, Uber Eats. Those are some things. Some people make good money on that. John says, thanks, Cynthia. On New Year's Eve, I'll post that short video. Perfect. Yeah, John, we be proud of that gorgeous face. Sam says, I'd put up my pic if JG. Oh, it's JG. Sam, put you on something. I forgot the word. But yeah. Okay. Guys, blow this freaking comments up. We got to get JG so we can see Sammy. I've seen Sammy. I know what she looks like. She's beautiful. Yeah, JG, you want to see a beautiful woman? Put your post up. Put your profile picture up. And John says, sure, Moran, I can change my profile pic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's get to know each other. Sam says, I get it. Yes. Lily says, JG, we're in Florida. We're in Fla. Can you say? Georgia or JG. Sorry, where'd that come from? Too much apple juice. JG says, Sam, I'm not changing my pic. Don't care to. Oh, now we're JG says, Lily. You like that car analogy? Yeah, we don't want to give certain things up, but just like my family, a lot of them have gluten allergies, and once my brother gave up what was toxic, it changed his thyroid, it changed his blood pressure, a lot of different things. So I think even his eyesight, if I remember correctly, his eyesight got better. And We love bread, we love pasta, but it was toxic to him. He could still eat it, but he won't feel as good. And like he'd probably have to get back on thyroid medication. So sometimes removing toxins. Also, I've had so many people say after I left my narcissist that their actual health, some of them have had diabetes gone, blood pressure problems gone. Some people say like different things like tumors, gallbladder stuff, like, and that I'm going off of what they told me, but it can definitely change a lot of different things. A lot of people, they get their weight back in check. If they have sleep problems, that gets back in check, and they start feeling better. Sam says, okay, JG, only meant in fun because you're already said you weren't changing it. And that's a healthy thing to say. Like, okay, dang it, JG has boundaries. Dang it, JG. And we're the empaths, so we have to honor that. Dang it. So good for you for having a boundary. Notice I changed my picture. I'm like, okay, I'll change it. But that's fine. Lily says, oh, JG says, Lily, I'm in Orlando. Exactly. We're having our convention in Orlando, and we are all, I'm going to dress like Cinderella. Cynthia, Cindy, Cinderella. Lily says, can you say city? If not, that's okay. If you're talking to JG, he's in Orlando. Yep, middle of the upper portion. What's the weather like there? My daughter was just down there. It's probably what? It looked kind of cold. So Sam, how are you feeling about all this? I know it's a lot to take in. And is Calibri still here? You still here? Gotta make sure. It's Mahogany. We need Mahogany. Where's Mahogany? I know sometimes people just listen in, but thank you guys for those thumbs up. I appreciate that. It's in the 70s. Oh, it's about 50 in Michigan. So 70s isn't bad. I was supposed to be in Florida right now, down in Lake Okeechobee, but with my mom and everything. She's definitely going to be until at least the 19th. So say some prayers for mama. Drop to 30s around Christmas. Okay. Yeah. We had that terrible winter storm, like a blizzard, super crazy. It wasn't as bad as they said though. The ice was bad. It had some bad ice. Didn't want to drive. A lot of blowing snow. It was really light, powdery snow, so that made it difficult driving. John says, I'm thinking about raising people's awareness on narcissism, and let us know how do you want to do that, because that's important. And John, you mentioned something too, that you can go live now too. I noticed this is new, where you can go live with someone. Maybe you and I can do like a little interview. I did a podcast. Have any of you seen that yet? With Dare to Know, the number 2, not TWO. I do want to start when I hit 2,000 subscribers. I want to kind of reach out to people. I think I'm a little too small right now to do that. I want to pair with people. If I could get 5,000 subscribers, that would be great. I want to get 1 million. Let's get this world on track. Change everybody. Because you're right. Who was it who said it, JG? That Calibri, are you still here? But narcissism, there you are. You've given up on that idea with my neighbors. Let them discover the narcs. And Lily says, Mahogany and Brenda. Yes, we need Mahogany and Brenda. We need a lot of you guys. Yeah, there's times where it's just like, screw it. Like, a lot of times too, people aren't going to believe us, the things that we say. And it's sad. Yeah. And it's almost like a non-winning battle that we can't overcome. John says, I'm hoping my phone with its problem lets me. A new one will help. Okay. I get that. I probably need a better phone too. Oh, I forget my battery. Let me take another sip of healthy apple juice with antioxidants. Anti-something. Oh. But JG says spit on them. That'd be easy. We can spit on them. We'll have a spit Have you ever seen those spit competitions? All right, I got to plug my phone in. It died when I was with my mom. So there's all the Christmas decorations. To me, it's almost cluttered. This house is usually like nice and put together, but it's like all the Christmas decorations. It's nice though. I need to find the painting. I want to show you my painting. Let's see if I can find the painting that I did. Do you guys want to see my painting? You're hoping your phone. Kalibi says, I've noticed the more that I educate my neighbors, who I thought are safe, are mostly brainwashed by the narcs. And that's a thing. Excellent point. Is that the narcissists, they usually win. People are just so into believing them because they are such good liars. They get to the people first where they turn them. Oh, here's my painting. Oh, that they get people to believe them. And so no matter what we say, they're not going to believe us. You guys want to see my painting? You got a comment? You want to see my painting that I did? I'll show you my painting. I like it. I gave it to my mom. Do my school workers know about my channel? Kinda. I don't know if they've watched it. I try not to, I don't post it on Facebook. Like, my friends and family don't know, because I do talk about my daughter's dad. So, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how my daughter would feel about it. I'm not really talking to my daughter right now, because my ex kind of, but I don't know exactly how my daughter would feel about it either, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of taking a risk. But, oh, wait, don't leave. Here's my painting. Do you like my painting? You did that. I like my painting. Do you guys see it? There we go. So Sam, get some sleep. And yes, keep visualizing happiness away from him. I did that and it came true. So yes, there is hope. There is definitely hope if we keep on track. So take care, Sam, from everybody, from John and Lily. You like my painting? I'm pretty proud of it. I did that with my friend. That's one thing. What is this? What's it? Bob Ross. This is something you might want to do. Kind of brain dead. You don't even have to know what you're doing. If you have paint, things like that, do like a little paint and pour where you have just a little get together with some friends and follow along with Bob Ross. That's a Bob Ross painting. And get creative. It's kind of fun to do. Thank you. Lily, did you see my painting? I don't know if you guys can see it with do you guys see the words as I put this up? Oh, thank you. I got talent there. Well, I hope so, because I'm the art teacher. You want to see, like, my grandfather? Look at this. Isn't that not amazing? I'll show you some of my grandpa's. This is kind of cool. Oh, that's not what I thought. It's kind of hard to see. But Grandpa was definitely an artist. And my mom's a big quilt. I'll show you guys around. Why not, right? But my mom's definitely a quilter, so she made, like, that. But these are all, like, Grandpa's paintings. Like, look at all that stuff. All those. They're kind of cool. We got the, where's Miss Mona Lisa? Do you see Mona Lisa? Oops. Oh, that didn't work. And then I think this was my grandmother. My grandmother, I think, painted that. And then oh, they moved it. I have my sister. She's an illustrator. I was going to show you some of her books. They put those away. I don't know where her books are. She's working on another one, too. Thank you, John. Glad you like it. Thank you, Calibri. And it's beautiful and tranquil. Yes. Art is in my genes. Explore it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the sewing came from my mom. I do not do quilts or anything like that. I need to, because I got so much of her fabric. But I like stretch fabric. That way, if you screw up, you can kind of stretch it to, fit. Quilting, you got to do a lot of ironing and a lot of precise. I'm not a super precise person. I'm a very quick worker. Very quick. Is the Mona Lisa still single? Yep. She's a wallflower just sitting there on the wall. JG says, feel bad for Samantha, but kind of bummed at her. Kind of bummed at her because she's not leaving. Calibri says, John, Mona has a beard. I think Mona has a beard. I don't know. She's got a weird hairline. She does have a weird hairline. I had the kids do a Mona Lisa picture. They did pretty good. And thank you. I see the wow, nice. Yeah, there's I wish I had all the painting. Right behind me. My sister did that one. That's what my sister looks like. Pretty much. Look at the wispy hair. So she did that. Beard. Ha ha ha. So do my sister and I look a little bit alike? That's Carrie. Try not to say names. Maybe I shouldn't have said her name. I don't know. You guys be nice. Behave. And then all these, like my mom painted all these kind of things too. Like down here, she painted that. Look at the detail. All different kinds of decorative things all over the place. And somebody else gave me a nice little thumbs up. Thank you for helping with the algorithm. That's so sweet. You guys are awesome. So, are you guys showing up tomorrow night? We having a party? We gonna celebrate this New Year's Eve together? I hope so. Hopefully Sam will be able to log back on. We can get a little update. And thank you guys. You guys have been really good support throughout all this. I'm scrolling through. What time? Tomorrow at 11:45 Eastern, or I'm sorry, 11:15. 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to stay on for a couple different time zones. You're not missing anything. You'll be here. Awesome. Yeah. And I know my sister's really trying to talk me out of it. And I'm like, no. So I'm going to go to her house for a little bit, have some dinner, and then kind of come over here. She's like, do you want to log in here? And I thought about doing where we kind of 9:15. You're right. Yep. So I'll try to stay on for you guys. We'll see how it goes. That maybe I can bring in the New Year's with you too. Let's see. It is where. Oh my goodness. You guys should. I don't know why it disconnects. It's hold on. It's midnight here, so it should be 9 o'clock. Where you are now, correct? Is it 9 o'clock at this time? Because that will let me know. It should be 9:15 if it's 9 o'clock now for you guys. Time is relative. Adios, JG. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. That's what that means, JG. Look at you with your Spanish. Thank you for joining us tonight. JG is going to fall asleep soon. Sleep good. So, yes, 9:15 it is. John says midnight here, too. I don't go back to the 9th. You go back on the 4th. Huh. No, we don't go back to the 9th. And that's elementary school. And Kalibi says, have a restful sleep, everyone. And Lily's like, oh, JG. JG, the faceless JG. You're leaving us. You're making Lily sad. Aw. You can sit there and send her your email, but you won't. No, get some sleep. we give JG a hard time. He sets his boundaries, and we got it. Yep, that's his boundary. Lily says, yeah, I wish it was earlier. I know. I thought about doing it earlier. Most of my lives will be earlier. I got to see how you guys feel about it. I get out of school usually I get home around 4:30, except on Wednesdays and Thursdays when I teach English to the Japanese. Then I get home at like 5. But I'm not sure what time you guys can log in. If you guys can tell me. I see somebody else just joined us. Feel free to join in with us and hit that help with algorithm. But we're definitely talking about some of us, the karma. The karma does come. Look at the karma that's going to come to Samantha's man. He's destroyed things so terribly that it's to the point of no return. And we talked about Andrew Tate, the things he's going through. And all of us, is narcissists really truly happier. They're just honestly just with a new supply. And I promise you it's hard to comprehend, but you know, my first one didn't really open up, but his grandmother had always said that, and she didn't say it to me. She said it to, um, like it was weird. I always called her my stepmother-in-law to be that never was, because she dated his father, and her and I went to beauty college. She went to that college to learn to become a beauty instructor. I went there at that time for cosmetology. And so she was dating him, I was dating the son. And so she had told that lady that, you know, my person just always thought different. And just the ups and downs in his life. His karma doesn't seem as crazy, but he's never really found the love of his life. Yeah, Lelia, sorry it's not earlier. You still adore me. I know it's kind of late for me too. Like, can we celebrate New Year's at 6? That would be much easier. But, um, like during, in the future, what is a good time for you guys? Let me know. Because I was thinking maybe 6 o'clock or so. I want to go to bed at 10. So remember, I'm Eastern Standard Time, 3 hours away from you guys, way out on the other side of the country. But we've had people join us from all over the world, and that is amazing. On weekends, I can do different times. You know, I don't even mind going on twice. I love you guys. You guys are very fun to be with. And John, I'll stick my gerbils on them. I miss this. Sam says, I'm feeling sad a bit because I wish for things to get better. I'm also happy to be healthy again and have my children happy and healthy. Calibri, sorry I missed this. I've noticed the more that I educate my neighbors who I thought are safe are mostly brainwashed. Yes, I think I did see that. That was some really good advice you guys gave. I appreciate that. We have such a good group here. School's different here. Started August 10th. Oh, and ends May 29th. Leela says, night, night, John. John says, I'm going to watch some sci-fi tonight, Cynthia. I'll see you next time. I will see you tomorrow. And that is the next time. So sleep well. Thanks for joining us. And interesting. Did you say you're in Florida? Is that correct? We started August 26th? August 24th. I think we start August 24th and we end maybe June 6th or something like that. All right, John, signing off. Everyone, see you soon. Happy New Year's Eve. Awesome. We will see you New Year's Eve. 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 A Running Bear, much love. Yes, thank you, Running Bear, for hanging in there with us. A lot of love. So, yeah, sorry I can't do tomorrow earlier. I mean, I can maybe do 11:30 if you guys want. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you at the New Year's party. And until then, sleep well, stay narc free, and get some good sleep. See ya. Bye, guys.